Welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. It's spring and that means it is protection time. And Soft99, steady, have a special offer on some of their most durable, potent and popular flagship products to protect your car, get you through the spring and the summer. They're also very, very enjoyable and easy to apply. What are they? Watch this video to find out. Hiya! Welcome back to the Forensics Detailing channel. Do not forget to subscribe. Now, as we mentioned in the intro, Soft99 have this concept of protection time where they feel there's two ripe or perfect opportunities to go ahead and apply long-standing protection to your car. One of them is in the wetter autumn and winter months when it gets cold and you don't really want to be out washing your car, or where we are now, where we're approaching spring and summer. Now, the conditions in spring and summer are still varied. In the UK, you have some different problems. You're always going to get windy, wet weather here. So you're going to still need hydrophobic protection, stuff on your front windscreen to help visibility, things like that. But you're also going to get different types of things going on with the car. You're going to get lots of contamination, pollen, Sahara sand dust dropping on your car, you know, bug splatter and all things like that. So it's really important to get your paintwork in good condition first and then protected and then maintained. So you don't let all of that horrible stuff build up on raw paintwork with no protection, because then it's going to bond, your paintwork's going to become rough and dry, and then your car starts looking terrible. So if you're into detailing, when you like doing all this stuff, then applying protection to your car and maintaining it gives you some really, really cool benefits and also makes it easier to clean. So now we understand the concept of the key opportunities to protect your car. What are the products that Soft99 recommend you utilise, and what's the deal that they've got running on them? Okay, so what is the protection time set that's on offer, guys? Well, it's these three products. The first one is the legendary Soft99 FUSSO coat. If you've not heard of this product, it's basically a tin of paste wax / sealant that uses the FUSSO fluoropolymer technology, which makes it really beady and really kind of slidey. But you also get tons of wax in the tin, so it will last you years and years if you don't, you know, over apply it, and because of the durability. So it's a very affordable product, and it's even more affordable with these deals. If you've not heard of this product, it became popular, I think, about probably about 8 or 9 years ago. Word of mouth, really. It spread around the UK that everyone was talking about this wax. It's very exotic looking, very glamorous, very affordable, but the main claim to fame was the beading and the durability, and that's what it's known for. So it's perhaps, as we've said before, one of the strongest forms of protection that you can get without putting a ceramic coating on your car. Next up, in a similar fashion, a non-coating, so this also uses the fluoropolymer technology or the FUSSO technology, and this is a glass sealant that you can use on your front windscreen. What is the benefits of that when you get rain? The hydrophobic nature of the windscreen stops the water from filming, because it creates high surface tension rather than low surface tension. So the water won't film out, and the water will also roll off of the car, and the wind will blow it off of the car when you're driving. So you have to use the wiper blades less, and your visibility is improved. So that's what glass sealants are for. And really the main claim to fame, I think, on the Ultra is that it offers up to 12 months durability, depending on how often you use the car. And it really seems to keep going well. So that's two iconic products, the Glaco Ultra and the FUSSO coat. Now there's one other product which is really handy as well, which is this little aerosol that you can use to spray over your wing mirrors or your reverse parking mirrors to create a hydrophobic layer over those as well. So it's quick and easy. It's in a really convenient little spray bottle. You just clean the glass first, put the packaging paper around the outside of your wing mirror, for example, to stop overspray going everywhere, and then just put a nice generous coat going left to right from top to bottom over the glass and put a microfiber at the bottom to catch it all. You use quite a lot of product and you see it all run down and collect into the microfiber, and then what happens is the solvent vapes out of it. You will get this white film, but then as the white film cures, it disappears. Once all that white film disappears, then you've really applied the product, and you can just leave it alone to fully cure. It's always a good thing. But you'll notice the next time you get any water near this, it just instantly flicks off, and it really improves visibility. You know, you're less likely to be winding your windows down or pressing the button down to wipe your windscreen, your wing mirrors when you can't see out of them. You should have general improved visibility from them. So that's the name of this product. Very easy to apply. And what is the deal, guys? Well, normally those three products cost around £65, and you can get them from the Soft99 store that we'll link in the description, or you can get them from other distribution partners, and we'll link the map to that to find your local distribution partner. This offer, it's going to be around £45. So don't quote me exactly on those figures, but you get a rough idea. You will see the exact prices on the website. But that's a significant saving on products which are heavily used as well. So it's a good deal. Now, I want to go on and talk about the application of these products, in particular the FUSSO and the Ultra Glaco. And I want to talk about how you can also make those applications easy, but get a little bit more out of the products as well. And there's some accompanying products that you might consider when you're shopping for the protection time set that are very desirable as well. So let's move on to those. Okay guys, FUSSO coat. Now I've got some tips and tricks here from Soft99, but I've got a few tips and tricks of my own. In fact, mine are much better. So I'm going to be stealing some of their ideas, but giving you some of my own tips and tricks as well. So the first thing is the facts. This product offers up to 12 months durability, and this tin should give you to 20 to 25 applications. I think you might even get more of it out of that. It's really, I've gone through a tin of this. It takes a long time. You know, you get down to the bottom of the tin and you're running out. You could still do a few cars with that. So it is hard to go through these. You should give yourself a pat on the back if you ever get through a full pot of FUSSO. There are two variants, dark and light, and I will link in the description an explanation of both. If you have a dark black or dark grey or something like that, then get the black one. If you have a lighter car, a white car or a bright silver, then get the white one. If you've got a combination of both, then just get the dark one. There is very little difference between those, but they explain the difference, but you really won't, your eye will not be able to see the differences. Something the scientists are, might be interested in. So if in doubt, just get the normal dark one is my tip. Now, preparing them. You can't just put wax on a dirty car, okay? Obviously, you're gonna just scratch up your paint if it's all dirty and you go and wax it and buff on it. That'll just be, you'll just make a mess. I'm sure someone's done it. You also can't put this on, or shouldn't put this on a car that's covered in contamination, because this product is there to stop the contamination. You can see I'm getting angry, my hand's shaking. This is a detailing fundamental. It's harder for things to stick to the car when you've got a layer of fluoropolymer technology sealant on there. That's one of the main points of it. So if you don't take the contamination off claying first, and you just sling it on top of the tar, the sap, the fallout, it's not really going to do its job. It's not going to feel right. The key is, after you've cleaned the car and used a pH neutral mild shampoo, or a shampoo with no wax in it or anything like that, when you're prepping, because you want to clean the car, you don't want to add material. So pure shampoo. After that, dry the car off and feel the paintwork. If it's nice and smooth and glass-like all over, then you're good to apply it, okay? If it's bumpy, if it's dry, if it's rough, feel behind the wheel, look for little dots. You could do a little test pass of clay behind the front wheels and see if it's got that brown film or any little dots coming off. If it does, then you probably need to clay the entire car, okay? And pull all that contamination off. If you clay the car, then undoubtedly you're going to need to go back over the car with polish. Now, if you're new to detailing and you don't have a machine polisher, then Soft99 have this product, which I've talked about before, that you can use by hand and go over the marring and work it. You're going to burn some calories. So that's the disadvantage of hand polishing, but it's also, you know, designed to be used by hand. If you are a bit more experienced and you have machine polishers, then you can use the Soft99 cutting compounds and mid-range compounds and finishing polishes by machine to really chop your paint and remove defects and gloss it up with the finishing polish on soft pads, and that whole slightly more involved subject of machine polishing. We have just discussed prepping your car, so washing, decontaminating, polishing, the actual 3 fundamental practices of detailing. You must do them to get the most out of this product. But don't feel like you're missing out if you don't have a machine polisher. You can do it all by hand. It's just going to take you longer. And obviously, major paint correction, you're going to need, you know, these compounds and machine polishers and all that sort of stuff. Now, when you open up this wax, you get the applicator. Don't go loading up with wax so you've got a big thick layer of wax on the foam applicator pad. Just push the middle, because you always want to get a bit of wax in the middle, and then just give it a little quarter turn, you know, 90-degree turn backwards and forwards, and that will load up the outside. Then when you go to your first panel, for example, your bonnet, you can just work it in circles a little bit and pat it up and down just to make sure you don't have any dry bits of the applicator pad. That's a little tip for me. But if you've got tons of wax on that panel, you've used too much. So go and get a cloth and just remove that wax and then carry on with what you've got left on the pad. There shouldn't be little tram lines or trails of wax when you're moving it around. Okay, it should be a very thin-like layer. It's almost like a vinyl record when you spread it. Okay. Now, Soft99 recommend with this particular FUSSO coat to apply it crosshatch, because that just helps you get a thinner coat. Okay, so that tip does work. So go in a crisscross pattern. Wait 5 to 8 minutes and you will see the product start to haze out. You can leave it longer, but there's no real benefit. After that point, the solvents are starting to flash out and it's starting to bond to the paintwork, and it's ideal to buff. Get a clean microfiber cloth. I like to fold it 4 ways, set it down on the panel and just buff gently, little circles or whatever you want to do. I like to do the edges first, get the product off of the edges of the panel, and then sort of work my way in almost. It's always a good idea as well when you think you've done a panel to flip your microfiber cloth to a clean side and then just do a real quick wipe. Or you can work very quickly and then once you've done the whole car, just get a clean microfiber cloth and then go back around it and look for any bits you've missed or you've not buffed properly, okay? And you can have a bit of detail spray when you do that as well. So that's really important. Change your microfiber cloth is also important. And they mention that here. That is important because your cloth will build up with microfiber and it ends up becoming an applicator, and you go to buff off the product and your cloth, you're actually kind of applying it, and it looks like you're not taking it off and you're just moving it around. Funny in that, because you are. So yeah, have a nice pile of microfibers is always the way. I'm just going to read out some of their application tips and tricks. To make the application easier and faster, we recommend working with a damp, not wet applicator. That can stop, because this thing repels water, so that can stop too much of the product going into the applicator, and it also releases the product out of the applicator. So I've seen a few companies suggest that tip. It does work. From a chemical point of view, water does not hinder the application. Instead, it helps to apply as thin a coat as possible, and it improves the glide and the tracking of the applicator on the lacquer, and it softens the applicator as well. So that seems like a really good thing. We've talked about crisscross. FUSSO should be applied to, it can be applied to other painted parts. So a lot of you in the comments apply this to alloy wheels because it makes your alloy wheels all beady and easier to clean as well. So it seems to make a good wheel sealant. A little point here, if there's an excess of residue that is difficult to remove, it's a good idea to reapply a minimum amount of product to those areas. So in other words, if you've got a little trail of product that's dried and you're buffing it and it won't come off, which is which is unusual. You'd have to left it quite a long time. You can get your applicator with some fresh product and go over it, and the solvents in that product will break down what's on there and make it easier to buff again. That's a good little tip. Here's another really good tip. Full binding or curing to the paintwork occurs approximately 12 hours after application. So avoid soaking the paintwork and washing it with detergents during this time. It's best if the car's put in a garage after you've applied it. Yes, that won't always be possible though. So you put the car outside. If it does rain, it's not the end of the world. The water's going to run off, and you can always, you can always just dry it or whatever. But no one does. Just don't wash it, is I think the important thing. And like I say, if you've got a garage, great. Yes, and there's loads of technical information on fluoropolymers and why the fluorine and the hydrogen and the carbon with the carbon fluorine, that makes a really strong bond, and it's something which you can't easily emulsify with detergent. So that's some of the chemistry of this product. It's not easily broken down. Traditional waxes like Carnauba or oily type show waxes, and Soft99 may have some of those sort of show waxes in their range, but they don't have the same durability as FUSSO, and that's because they're not using the same materials. There might be oil in them, which is easily emulsified and broken down by detergents. So really, FUSSO is a good base sealant that is going to last a long time on your paintwork, okay? Some tips on other products. I really think that a spray wax type product like Speed and Barrier, which also uses the FUSSO technology, and they call it FUSSO Boost. Having some of this is really, really cool because it's the same stuff. It's like, that does sort of, that in my head is the best complementary product to it, okay? For ease of application and speed, you can just use it like a detail spray and top up your protection, saying like 4 or 5 months time if you want it to be like beady on application. It's also known as FUSSO Boost to this product, and that's exactly what it's for. However, in the summer and maybe even in the winter, some people just like waxing their car, and you don't want to keep putting FUSSO on every single time. So you've got like topper waxes like this Mirror Shine, which I really like. The reason this complements it well, it's not as quick as the FUSSO technology. It's not the same technology, it's a synthetic wax, but it is formulated to go on top of FUSSO, and it won't destroy the FUSSO, with its solvent system when you put it on top. And the cool thing is it's got no cure, so it's just like a spread over your panel, shine immediately and just shine up the gloss, and it's really, really shiny. So check out that Mirror Shine product as well if you're interested. So that, guys, is FUSSO. What you're going to notice with FUSSO, after you've applied it, you can feel the panel with your back of your hand. It should feel nice and silky. If you do get the panel wet, it's not just going to, the water's just not going to run off. It's going to flick off. It's going to just fly off. It's going to really struggle. Sometimes lots of detailing products are hydrophobic and you spray the water on them, but you can still see a slight pooling effect. With FUSSO, it won't even allow the water to start to pull. It will just flick it off the car. It's so hydrophobic. It's ridiculous. And that's what people like, and the car's really easy to dry and all those sorts of things. So it's a very popular product. That is the FUSSO coat, guys. Now let's move on to the Ultra Glaco. Okay, guys, next up, a product I'm so familiar with now. Ultra Glaco, using the same FUSSO technology. You're putting a thin layer of material over your windscreen that's really essentially going to repel water and some dirt. It seems really good on that salty winter road film as well, which you showed in another video. It uses the same PTFE technology and is very chemically resistant and seems durable to wiper abrasion as well, which is a big factor with these products. So this lasts out really, really well, guys. Now, typically, whenever you have extreme durability on detailing products, usually that means the application's a lot harder. Well, no, the application on this is very, very easy. Most modern, well-maintained glass screens, really all you're going to need to do is wash the car down. Then, while the car's wet, you can go over it with this Glaco Ultra glass compound, which is a phenomenal product, actually. A phenomenal product. It's formulated to be used by hand. And what's really cool about it is how quickly you can scrub through the previous layer of any existing glass sealant or residues or, detergent films, any of that scummy stuff on the glass. It goes through it so quickly. When you start rubbing on it, if you see any beading and the product sort of repelling off the screen, then there's something on there. You keep working until you feel it start to bite into the glass and go a bit drier, and then you've gone through the remnants of any old protection. You've got the glass ready for it to be applied. Phenomenal product. Now, if the car's still wet from the wash process, you can just pressure washer this straight off the glass, maybe go over it with a wet microfiber cloth just to, get it all off. Comes off very easily. You can, and I often, do all my wash stuff first and bring the car in. And then when I use this, I don't want to get all the car wet again. I don't want to get the polish residues on it. So you can just use a wet cloth to collect it up. That works really well. And then once you've got 99% of it off, I'll just, clean the glass with a glass cleaner, like a wash mist over there. So I've got a degreased and polished glass, okay? In some instances, if you're detailing a car that's like 15 years old, and the glass has never been properly cleaned, you can clay the glass first and you'll get contamination coming off in the clay. You should do that before you polish, if required. Most times it's not required. Once you've polished the screen and got all the polish off, make sure the glass is dry and just go over your section of glass with this, again in crosshatch. And I think it's best to go horizontal first and finish with the up and down, okay? This product does dry and bond. I've noticed with glass sealants, if you put them on in circles and it dries, if you put too much on, you buff it, you can sometimes see in the light when you're looking through the glass, the little circular applications. So we know with these bonding products, you want the thinnest layer, and by putting it up and down, you're less likely to be able to see it. That's the reason for that, I think. So that's a good idea. My only other tip is when you're doing the up and down, make sure you don't get any gaps, So horizontal first, then up and down, and make sure you've got a nice film. When it starts to haze, you shouldn't have any gaps. That's an important thing. Okay, leave it to cure for 5 to 10 minutes until it's dry, cured. If you leave it a bit longer, I've found it isn't the end of the world, but follow the instructions and then simply buff this and use a glass towel. So in this particular instance, I used a waffle weave. The reason for that is it's got no nap on it and no fibres. Don't use a big soft fluffy cloth because the glass will pull fibres out of your cloth. So use a suitable cloth to buff it and buff it to a glossy finish so that you can't see the product. Go inside the car, look out of the glass, make sure you haven't missed any bits, okay? So that's my tip for applying Ultra Glaco. I'll read you some of the stuff Soft99 say. Ultra Glaco works well all year round. It reduces the adhesion of dirt in the summer and spring, allowing you to easily remove insects from your windshield. In winter, it will reduce or completely block the formation of hard to remove frost and ice on your windscreen. Has a felt applicator on it as well, which helps you get an even coat. We've talked about the application of this. So, polish the glass first, make sure it's dry, 10-minute cure, buff it to a shine, with a microfiber glass towel. Some tips and tricks from Soft99. Use the product to apply to panoramic roofs. Again, the bond reaches full strength after 12 hours, so don't play around with it, and poke water at it like YouTubers do. Don't do that. Leave it alone, because you'll compromise durability a little bit if you're playing around with it. If you do poke water at it, the first thing you'll notice is it just hurls the water off. It is so repellent. Some additional info, this product's been around for 30 years. Yeah, interesting. The surface of glass, although it appears completely smooth, is in fact porous and uneven. Because of this, water settles and sticks to the glass, forming sheets and drops of water in various shapes and sizes. So this, when driving in the rain, this creates a potential danger to the driver. Yeah, yeah, you can't see so much, can you? It's like a film of water and it's all blurry. So if your windscreen wipers aren't working in the rain, you're in trouble. So this just makes you less reliant on the windscreen wipers. In fact, when it's freshly applied, you could probably get away with not using the windscreen wipers, although don't do that. Okay, so the Glaco coatings effectively fill all the pores of the glass, creating a perfectly smooth, even surface. So it's harder for water to settle on the surface. Yeah, and also the material that they use is extremely hydrophobic. You know, it's one of those materials, I think, rare materials that falls into the category of being like super hydrophobic beyond most other materials. So there we go. It's one of the most hydrophobic materials known to man. That's it, guys. That's the two main products. We've talked about this product before. I just find this product really, really simple to use. Clean the glass, spray it all on, and just catch the excess. That's all you've got to worry about. The bit of card is actually very handy for that. Some other top tips, guys. If you want to maintain your glass, then do Glaco or Glaco de Cleaner. There's so many products, I can never remember all the names. This is a glass cleaner with a sealant in it. So, you know, after about 3 months of driving with your Ultra Glaco, you might, for example, want to clean it with this to top up some of the hydrophobicity, because it's less involved than the full prep for the things. It's just a quick way, spray on, wipe, maintain the hydrophobicity. We were talking about decontamination earlier on as well, and Soft99 have got lots of specialised products for that, what they call pitch cleaners and silicone removers and stuff like that, so tar and glue removers that you can use prior to claying to soften down the films of dirt on the car. They've got loads of products, tons of products in fact. I'm just starting to understand the range. And finally, guys, a huge thank you to Soft99 for sponsoring this video. This protection time set is going to turn your car into a water repelling anti-magnet, whatever that is, if you get the idea. And it's a nice feeling when you're driving along and it pours with rain and all the water just bounces off your car and you see all the jelly beads become unstable and just run off the car. And that is a warm feeling. But you also know when you've got that protection there and it's done, that you've put the groundwork in to prepare the car properly before they go in. And that's the nature of the game. And you've got this whole suite of products beyond just the protection set to help you get there. So thanks very much for watching, guys. Take care, and I'll see you soon on the Forensic Detailing channel. Bye for now. Two of their most popular products, the FUSSO9, what? Come on, calm down, just relax, here's the video. Oh, Jesus, here we go.